Welcome or welcome back if you already follow me. This evening I'm just on a little bit of a recce, bit of a scouting mission. Last week I did an overnight in the woods just further up here, and I noticed a couple of really prominent trails. So I thought I would head back this week. In the cooler evenings, because this week so far has been a little bit hot. And as we've got quite a grey overcast sky, in fact we had a few specks of rain when I got here in the van and thought maybe I'll see what it does, but I don't think if it does rain it's going to be much, so that's not going to put me off. So I've come back earlier today and I'm just going to have a wander through that section of woods, try and find myself a nice little spot to just sit down and settle down for a bit, and just have a look and see what's using the trail, if anything. I mean, I may not get anything at all this evening, but I just know that from the amount of times that I've camped up here, that almost every time I do camp I hear a lot of rummaging around, and often if we are quiet at our camp, and usually we've got our kind of binoculars handy, we often get to see certainly foxes. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. If it's early enough time wise, I'll have a little scout around, see if I can find any current badger dens or fox dens. If I've got time before I need to kind of settle myself in, I will have a quick scout round, see if I can find any fox dens or badger sets, just for future. What I have noticed is that the big stretch of woods that I've been walking through for many years is predominantly ash, and the last kind of 4 or 5 years has really been demolished by the ash dieback, the disease that's killing all the ash. Now there's plenty of sycamore and a bit of oak in there as well, lots of hazel. Used to be a lot of hazel coppice in this area way back in the day, but it's quite sad to see all the gaps. In fact, it's so clear in, so I keep hearing things, but it's the wind amongst the corn. Not the children of the corn, the wind of the corn. Yeah, some bits have got so thin that I can see some of the mountain bike tracks that they've been building throughout the years. Let's keep going. Right, now before I head into the woods, I brought with me just my, because it's still really hot, I just bought my mesh camouflage jacket just to hide my arms and my head, and I brought my gloves with me as well, just so that once I'm in there I won't be as visible. That's warm. I know that it's overcast, but it is still very, very warm. I don't think I'm going to put the balaclava on, because I think that just my hood covering my head should be enough. So I'll leave that in the bag. I'm not going to put the gloves on straight away, I'll just tuck those in my pouch so I can get to them easily. And I'm not going to bother with the trousers, I think I'm just going to do the jacket. I think that will cover me up enough. I love this time of night because there's so many noises of everything settling down for the night. I think that'll do. That'll do. I mean, I do love the morning calls as well, but I love the sound of everything settling down for the night. I guess it kind of means it's time to just settle down and chillax. think that'll be enough with my camera in front of my face. Okay, right, let's head in. Well, I'm in an area that I know really well. It's not an area I've been to since pre-COVID. It's still got that familiar, kind of like a badgery smell, but it smells like badger poo. To my nose anyway. My friends always laugh at me, but it's not that, it's all the boxwood. There's a lot of boxwood in this section of woods. It's one of the hardest woods to carve. It's what they make chess pieces out of. But if you've got a piece and you've cut it, sanded it, oiled it, it's beautiful. But there was one badger set in the bank on the left hand side for years, but there's so much debris in front of it, so many cobwebs across it, it clearly hasn't been used in quite a few years. Okay, let's keep going. It's still fairly early on. It's only 6 o'clock, and there's a big, looks like fresh soil mound. So I'm just going to wander up there quietly and see if it's a new home for any wildlife. No, unfortunately it's just a freshly dug out mountain bike track. Well, I found a game trail, and I know it's not a human trail just because it's not trodden enough. There's not much in the way of disturbed soil, and the moss is still growing across, and it's just not kicked up like human footprints kick up. I'll show you. You can see it's quite a faint line. I mean, it's quite bold there, but you can see it going that way. It's a very narrow trail. You know, it's just the width of my foot, maybe just a little bit more. So, just a bit further up, there's a nice little drop-off piece that I think I'm going to sit behind and just see if anything passes through this way. Now this trail definitely says deer trail to me. It's a bit low for continued, like dog walking route, because it's not flattened enough. the tree is my waist height and I'm a dwarf. The other side, there's a lot of clematis stems kind of blocking the route. And I don't think it's badger that come this way, because badgers, the tracks are usually narrower and a bit smoother, where they drag their tummies along. Now in this case, the log, the other side, would have 2 or 3 telltale signs of it being a badger run. I'd expect to see it a lot more smoothed over. There's quite a lot of loose debris on the top. I'd expect it smoother where their tummies have rubbed over it. I would expect claw marks where their front or back legs have pulled themselves over it. And I'd also hope to see some badger hair, which I haven't seen. So the general size and shape, to me, says deer. And fox, of course. Okay, let's carry on. I used to know this area like the back of my hand. My friend and I used to walk 6 or 7 different routes that kind of joined the same tracks. Often we would follow the deer runs or the badger runs as far as we could. But this ash dieback has just demolished the entire forest. And now so much light has got in because of all the dead trees and the fallen trees that it's letting all the hazels and the sycamores grow and all the dogwood. So this is an area that I used to put my hammock up in, which is literally just down there by the hazels. And it used to be a really covered area, so much so that if it rained, you really didn't feel that you got wet at all. Okay, let's carry on. I don't know if you can see, but it's raining in the distance there, and it's coming kind of this way at a slight angle. I think I'm gonna head back towards the van. I found a nice little spot. I think I need to come back and spend some more time there. What I didn't realise is that it was fairly close to another BMX track, and you can't always see, especially when it's up the hill. And I could hear some kind of movement. Don't know whether it was badgers or deer or fox. But when the bike came through, I'd only been sat there like 10 minutes, and BMX came through, and anything that is going to be in the vicinity is going to bug off pretty damn quick. So I either need to come back at a different time, or I need to rethink my location, which is probably what I'm thinking. Really struggle on the South Downs to find some kind of wildlife secluded spots. You'd think there'd be plenty of it, and I've been here all my life, and I know there are a few really good spots, but those spots I've been to so much, you know, I don't really want to travel too far out. It defeats the object of it being a bit of a local spot. So I'm going to go home and rethink it. Well, I know we haven't seen anything other than a few long-horned cows. But if you'd like to give it a thumbs up, if you've got any recommendations for, you know, the kind of Stenning area, then please stick them in the comments below. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.